Ecamm fam, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Marshall Creates with Ecamm. I'm your host, Marshall Fox, and we've got an exciting episode for you guys, as always, right? So in this episode, we're going to be starting the logo design process for Mr. Jerry Minor. So if you guys aren't familiar with him, he is a comedian and actor, and he's starting a new show. It's almost like a sketch show slash comedy slash podcast, and it's called Playing to the Back of the Room. So we're going to be starting that logo design process today. So let me check in with the fam first, and we'll get started. So it's good to see everyone. We got End of Trading checking in from Istanbul. Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What time is it over there? I'm always curious to know what time it is in other parts of the world when people are tuning in live, because it's always like a crazy time. So I definitely appreciate you for taking your evening, your morning, whatever time it is. Thanks for taking that time out to watch little old me on YouTube. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. So who else we got? We got Ennis. Welcome, welcome. It's always great to see you. Mr. Moderator, thank you, as always, for what you do every week for me and everyone. It's 10 p.m. Okay, cool. Cool. 10 p.m. Oh, we got Travis in the house. Welcome, welcome. And Todd, man, great to see you as well. Great to see you as well. Awesome. So we've got, oh, wow. IMAX in from Germany. Wow, what time is it in Germany? This is really cool. You guys are making me feel special. People tuning in from Germany and Istanbul. See little old me. I appreciate that. I really do. Awesome. So I'm gonna open up a fresh Illustrator file here, and we're gonna get cracking on this logo design. Okay. So just to kind of give you guys a little backstory. So if you haven't already, when you get a chance, go back and watch last week's episode because that is when we actually met with Jerry and allowed him to talk through his his show and the premise of it, the format, and we talked a little bit about his design preferences as well, which um in this case are really simple and minimal. So that adds a unique challenge to the design process because it is so simple and minimal. But it's gonna be fun to create something that is simple and memorable. Well, minimal, but also memorable, right? And timeless and appropriate and unique as well. So, oh, tune in because I got dope skills. Hey, I appreciate that. Truly, I really do. I don't take it lightly. I know I've been in the game for nearly a decade now. Um, but I'm falling more and more in love with what I do on a daily basis. And really, last year, I mean, some of you know this, but like I really fell like seriously in love with design at a level that I had never been before. Not that I didn't love it, but last year was really a turning point in my career. Because at one point I thought I was pretty much retiring from design and kind of shifting into other things, coaching and content creation and stuff like that. But I was like, I really enjoy this. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. And not to get on my soapbox. I know how I do sometimes we get to preaching, but there's just certain fears as a creator and creative. Um, I don't want to call myself an artist, but someone who designs in that space, there's a certain fear that we have, especially with the rise of AI. Like, oh, am I going to be out of a job and this and that can add some fear, like an element of fear to it. Um, but I've kind of used it to my advantage. And the turning point was the year prior when Chris Doe, who's one of the goats in our space, I saw him speak while I was actually speaking at an event that he was speaking at, and he had a little rant about AI and pretty much that we shouldn't be fearful of it, but we should embrace it. Of course, there are going to be positives and negatives to any new technology or I don't know if we can call it technology. I mean, it is technology. There's going to be a certain element of fear and unknowns there, but if we use it to our advantage and think about the positives, we can help to kind of usher in a new era, but be on the forefront and have a positive influence and impact to the ushering in of this new technology. So that's the stance I've kind of taken with it. And since I've done that, I've had a whole lot of fun, even more fun than I've ever had before with design. So yeah, I don't want to go on too much of a rant, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. And let me just adjust my framing a little bit here, even I'm going to be switching my scene here shortly. But I've been having a lot of fun, and every day it's a new challenge. It's something new to figure out. It's something new that's being I don't want to say created, but added, and it's like it's a golden era in my opinion of for designers, and I can't necessarily speak for artists or people who actually do art for a living or as their craft, but I know from a design standpoint, and there's a difference between art and design. Design art is the creative expression of whatever it is that you may have in mind, and design is like art but for a commercial purpose, right? It's not like we just design just to design. Like pretty much everything that I do as a designer is for a commercial purpose, meaning it's to help you make money. Right? That's what I do. I don't just create art just to do it, but I do it in a way where it helps you to make money, whether it's a website or a logo design for your business, or in this case on this show, podcasters, of course, to grow your impact and help you reach more people and all of that. But the end goal, for at least for my clients, for the most part, is to grow their business, right? It's to grow their business, or whatever form that may be, whether it is a podcast or a logo or what have you, book cover, whatever. It all kind of has a specific purpose to it. So welcome to America. We're capitalists, right? um, let me see. Okay, so someone says, what model camera are you live streaming on? I believe this is the R8, Canon R8. I forget because my R6 here, I had to put out a commission. Well, I didn't have to put it out of commission. I guess it put itself out of commission. I was using that. I love that, but I found that the R8, which is like a third of the price of the R6, it gives me a comparable picture quality to the R6. I'm like, I wish I would have known this at first because I would have just got the R8, right? So, yeah, I really like the R8. Okay, and Trevor says I wouldn't worry about AI people like listening to people, not AI. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep, you're absolutely right. And that's something that I always keep in mind too. Like there's a heart and soul to what I do compared to, something that's just straight AI. And my business hasn't suffered, at least not yet, from AI. So but like I said, I use it to my advantage and I enjoy it, and it's always something new coming out. So I'm gonna get off my little soapbox right now, and then we're gonna jump in to the logo design process. So Jerry Minor, he's a comedian, he's an actor. He has over 2 decades of experience, two or close to 3 decades now. And seems to me, I don't know, but it seems like he has a great reputation out there in the comedy streets. So to even put on a show, or I guess we can call it a show, like what he's doing, you have to have some level of reverence and respect amongst people in the industry, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to pull it off, because it's going to be more of a collaborative effort. He's going to have guests, he's going to have people that are involved in the sketches and whatnot. So it seems like it's going to be a fun time. So we have the privilege of designing his logo and his show. So it's going to be called Playing to the Back of the Room. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and show you um what we have so far. So give me 1 second. So you guys can see this, right? So this was the little mood board that we worked on last week. It just contains a couple of the styles that he likes, along with um some other players that are kind of in his space. So he did mention that this the mind the game graphics are a little too much. It's nice, but it's a little too much. So that was very helpful for me, because I was thinking it wasn't until he said it was. So I'm like, okay, that's a little too much. So he definitely is digging the rap latte show the most. So I'm thinking that we put a creative spin on this type of minimal style. So we got Andy, what's going on? Great to see you. And we got Micah tuning in. It's always great to see you, Micah, from Mesquite, Texas. What is good? Cool. All right, y'all. So this is how we're gonna approach this. And let me just check my computer, because I feel like it's running a little slow. Um, so we got Ecamm Live going, Illustrator, Dropbox. Well, it is what it is. I can't really close anything out because we're gonna be using Illustrator. And Ecamm Live is I've been doing a lot on this computer. I've been pushing it to the brink recently. It's crazy because I close out pretty much everything before I come on this live stream, and I have the wrong hold on 1 second. Let me move this. I gotta switch it because here it is right here. Boom, there we go. And I'm just gonna change my scene to my screen share real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Overlays. I'm gonna go down to my screen share and change the display to my secondary display. Cool. All right, awesome. Cool. Are we good, y'all? All right, let's go ahead and open up a new tab here. Hopefully it doesn't open up everything. We're gonna go to Envato Elements. And we're gonna start looking for some simple fonts. Oh, it's all good. Doc says, "What's up? Sorry for all the boxes coming tomorrow." For those who don't know, Podfest is next week, which Ecamm is sponsoring, and it's down here in Orlando. So I'll be there along with Doc, Mary Lou, Katie, the whole gang. So if you got anyone's local, we'd love to see you there. And I believe there's a meetup at Disney on the 19th. So even if you can't come to the event, maybe we could just meet at Disney during the Disney meetup. I won't be there. That's actually my oldest son's birthday. But that's an option as well. So snow outside. Yeah, not down here though. But for anywhere there is snow, guys definitely want to be safe. It's crazy you mentioned that because one of my other clients, they have a conference this weekend in Atlanta, and I literally just got word within the past hour that it may be snowing, so they may not be doing it physically, but they'll have to do it virtually, and they're going to be using Ecamm. So that was literally the request. They say, "Hey, we need a backup plan in case it snows down here. Can you put together an Ecamm profile for live streaming this conference?" So, yeah, shout out to Jeremy Anderson and shout out to Ecamm too, because it's so cool that they know, okay, we might have to cancel this conference, but it's not canceling. We're just shifting from in person to virtual, and how easy it is to know, okay, we could just use Ecamm and keep the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that dope, man? Like we couldn't say that, it wasn't this easy a few years ago. That's all I'm saying. Oz, what is good? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you've been doing amazing. Happy New Year to you. Snowpocalypse. I'm gonna have to look it up because I know it's been unseasonably chilly down here. Like it was like 37 degrees when I woke up this morning, which is not normal for Florida, right? It don't you normally get that cold in the wintertime. It's usually like in the 50s, but 37. I was like, oh my goodness, and my wife was like, yeah, it's this cold front. It's affecting the north as well. Oh yeah, Ecamm for the win. Yeah, snowpocalypse. That's crazy. All right, so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna just look up some fonts first. And this is gonna be real simple, y'all. But what I want to do is we likely know that it's gonna be black on white or white on black, a simple font. But I do want to have some sort of unique element to it, whether it's the background where it's just not a flat background, but even for example, during the intro video or something like that, it may be like you seen those like film grain scratches. It's like dust and particles kind of scratches. So, but that will come once we get to that portion of it. But I'm thinking mostly black and maybe have a black and white faded image of him or something like that. Almost like this one right here. Can you guys see this oblong where it's mostly black, but you have like a faded image and maybe even black and white, and then you have some type of color accent. So, but first we have to get the core brand down first, and then we can start playing with like certain color accents and things of that nature. So I want to look for some simple fonts, and we're gonna go with sans serif. Yes, appreciate it. If you guys have a question, hit the Q and then the colon first, so it's easy for me to find. Um, 43 now. Wow, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So here it is. It's 55 now, but it was 37 this morning. Um, cool. So, all right. So we're going with playing to the back of the room. And I want to find something in Jerry. He's, I guess, middle aged, and his audience likely would be too. So I don't want to have anything like too flashy, trendy. And that's just a quick nugget as well. Like the logo should be simple, memorable, timeless, versatile, appropriate. It shouldn't be trendy. Trendy works sometimes. For example, with Liz, what we did, hers is trendy, but it's a timeless trendy because the 90s, in my opinion, is timeless, but it still goes definitely in the trendy bucket. We don't want to do that with this, right? And we want the logo to be able to shift and expand based on at least the design language. The logo kind of remain the same, but the design language, we want it to be adaptable, but to be able to put it in versatile, so we can put it in different applications and it'll still look good, whether it's on a color background, whether it's on a black background, a t-shirt, really anything. So that's what we have to keep in mind as we design this. So, see, I'm finna die. Right. Nah, man, look, it's still gonna be a little chilly when you get here, but it ain't gonna be like Hawaii. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just normally like not like this. This just a heads up. I mean, you know that. All right. So now as I'm scrolling through, I just want to, and the reason I use Envato Elements as opposed to the font or a lot of the free font websites is because a lot of these well, pretty much most of them are paid fonts. So if you were to buy them separately, you would have to pay for them in order to use them for commercial use. So under Envato Elements, you literally get you get access to all of these fonts under subscription, and you have commercial use, and it makes it that much more unique because at least when I started out, a lot of designers were using free fonts, and when it comes to creating something really unique and being able to get it, trademarked and, or what have you, they couldn't really prove that they had a license to use the font, and it just it was tricky. So I've never had an issue with using Envato Elements to get my fonts, and they have a large enough selection, and they're a lot more premium. It's a lot less junk. It's still junk. Don't get me wrong. Some to sift through, but it's a lot less junk to sift through because these are actual paid fonts that I have access to through my monthly subscription. So cool. Mic drop. A real Doc pop. I love that. Now I have a picture of his Doc literally as like a popsicle. All right, just saying I'm digging this. So what I'll likely do, what I tend to do here when I find fonts that I like is I'll add them to like a new tab so I can just keep scrolling through. See something like this, Labora, right? You see Labora and Oblong, they're probably by the same designer, I can tell. Let me see, WAP. No, they actually aren't, but um this is clean. It's sexy to me, but I don't think it works for what he's trying to do. These are more for like if you have a company logo, right? Then you would use something like this. So even though I like it, I don't think it's gonna work for, and I'm always thinking about the audience, right? I'm thinking about the audience first and foremost when I'm designing these logos. I'm like, oh, it might look clean and sexy, but it's not gonna speak quickly to the audience. Um, So I'm just scrolling down, kind of looking through. And if any jump out to you as we're scrolling down here, I know this isn't like the most exciting thing to do, but if anything jumps out at you, just drop the comment. And yeah, gotcha. Okay. Sounds amazing. Put into a Rodecaster Pro. Oh, I appreciate it. No, I just have the SM7B going into the DBX 286 processor, so that's probably what it is. I do have it kind of tweaked a bit. I appreciate it. That pop just stopped with nuts, Lord. Oh my goodness, y'all are crazy, crazy. At least I saw your name on the list. It'll be good to see you next week, as always. Okay. All right. So I think I want to go with like a couple different styles. So did I? So let me see. We have Just Sayings. That's cool. Francie, I'm digging that. So I'm looking at really the most simple ones that we have to choose from. Oh, I like this one too. Something about this. So I'll save this. I like this too, but I feel like it might be a little too trendy. But I would like to use either a condensed or even an expanded font, just an option, right? So this is more condensed. This is definitely condensed right here. This Calcio, that's the definition of condensed. But something that's a bit more bold. So I would say maybe this is a possible. I'll save it just to save it. Um, I'll save this one too, because I just want to give him enough variety, but still keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? So maximum, I'm digging this a lot. A lot. I really like that. I'm digging this too. Um, okay. So as I'm kind of scrolling through, I'm envisioning the name of his show as I'm looking at these fonts to see if can I imagine it's playing to the back of the room with these different fonts. I like this. This is kind of condensed. This is almost like Bibas, but I like the fonts that are like Bibas but not Bibas because it's if your average designer they're going to look at it like, oh, that's like Bibas, but it's not. What I wonder what it is. Like you probably could never guess. You know what I'm saying? You could never figure out what font it was unless you had it or something. So uh yeah, we'll grab it. We'll grab it. So Doing it like this, it just allows me to keep going a bit faster when I do right click and then I do open a new tab just so I can kind of bookmark them. And then by the time I go back to the different tabs, I may disqualify some right away. Like, this ain't hitting like I thought, when I first saw it. So, San Diego, I missed that one. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So, oh, facts. Facts. All right. There it is. Planes in the back of the room. That's not bad. That's kind of trendy. But I think, yeah, it may be a little too much for what he has going on. So I don't want to go through every page, of course. But I do want to keep it a bit more bold because I'm looking at this refocus. I'm like, that's kind of nice, but I think I wanted a bit more bold than that. All right, we'll look at one more page and then we'll go ahead and download these fonts. Okay. I like this, and I think this is going to replace that other one. Yeah, because this is kind of like a condensed font, but still different. Still different. Okay. I'm going to download this as well just because it's catching my eye, and it's always fun to throw in a concept that's completely off the wall, kind of left field, because sometimes that may resonate with them. So that will fall into that category. Okay, I think we're good. I think we have enough for now. Um, Bernova. All right, let me check that out. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. Duh. That's the one I just looked at. I forgot the name of the font that fast. Golly. Ben Rock. All right, where's Ben Rock? Um, okay. Yeah. What you think? What you think? Yeah, you know what? I'm digging it. And what was the other one you said? Hector. Um, where's Hector at? I might have to type it in. Let me see. Hector. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So the only thing I'll say about this one, right? It's beautiful. I love the font. I love the cleanness, the simplicity of it. So you see that little notch in the T, right? That looks good at this size, but it may not look good when it's scaled down. Um, let's see. So fonts like this, they're typically for like font, like a logo, like the main part of a logo, like the name of a logo. Um, but as you can see, they used it here in like a paragraph format. You can't really see, like I'm looking at the F right there in Fox, ironically. You can't really see the little notch like that at this size, but it still adds a little something to it. So I think we'll download it. We'll download it. So let me download this. We're gonna put it under. Let's do Jerry Minor. Let's make sure we have the appropriate license. So we'll do Ecamm. Can never find my Marshall Creeds folder. Just need to have it on the side. Oh, wrong folder. That's why. Here we're gonna do season 4, and we're gonna do a new folder here. Jerry Minor, and then fonts. All right, now I'll save all of these one by one. So as I scroll through, I want to kind of take another look to think, do I really want to download this or not? Use Montserrat. Gotcha. Ben Rock, San Diego, page 1. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was pretty much saying. But we'll still check it out to see what it looks like. So let's type in San Diego. Did we get this already? I think so. This one? Okay. Looks like we got a couple San Diegos, but we don't want the second one. See, and as I'm downloading these, I'm kind of taking visual inspiration from some of these initial images. Like this, you can see it's white text or cream colored text on a black background, but it also has this floral element here that they inserted, and then this table of sorts. It's almost like the ratings for movies, like it's like rated R, like that little table, how that tends to look. So it's giving me ideas of ways that we could present this text on a simple black background. So I'm actually gonna save this. I'm just gonna copy this image and paste it into the document. Here in Illustrator, just for inspiration, because we may, once we start messing with these fonts, we may want to have an option that could be inside of a certain table like that with some thin white lines. It could look nice, maybe we can even have one of these boxes cut like white and then have the text in black. So that this is a way that they're taking the font and turning it into a design language. So it's not just about the font, it's about the usage. I don't like what they did with crunching this this photo right here. I don't like that at all. But for these, they're just presenting the font so you can kind of visualize how you would use it. That's all they're doing. So they may break some rules. See here, another example is they have a simple abstract element in the back, and then they have these little stars and this lime green. Then they're using it here in a circle, right here. So just showing you different ways that it could be actually be used. So, and I'm gonna save this too. Even though I will say this style though can be a little trendy these days, but I'll just add it as inspiration, because you never know. Anything we can do to make it unique. Did I download this already, y'all? I forgot that fast. Let me see. This is Minda. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay. So I'll close out of the ones that we have already. San Diego, Franny, Gotham, Minda. Right now we're going Maxima. So I like how they did this. This is dope. Jerry Minor. Oh man. Now I forgot if I downloaded this already. Doc, you threw me off. Yep, I did. right, San Diego. I did this already, right? Yeah, I did. Oh, I didn't know I already had it up. Hmm. It's easier to stay focused when I'm not live streaming. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, did I do that already? I don't know. Did I? I like how they did this. And I'll save this too, just because. I mean, as of right now, we're going with black and white, but you never know. We can add a splash of color into it, right? So just inspiration. And the thing is, when it comes to like this quote unquote design language or them showing the font in different applications like this, we can mix and match. Like we could use the San Diego font like in a color on a black background or a dark space or whatever, you know? So it's more of like, okay, think about using a color like large text, large font with in color on a black background, you know? So it's more of like reminders. Happy season. I'm gonna try this out first, to be honest with y'all. This font. So let's just see how they used it. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, like a word cloud situation. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It probably won't, you know, amount to anything for us, but I'm excited about trying it. Bam rock. This should be the last one. Did I save the other one? Yep. David, what's good? What is good? Great to see you. Cool. All right, y'all. We have the fonts. So now what I have to do is I'm gonna add them to I gotta add them to Dropbox. I have a little bit of a process. So I add them to Dropbox and then I download them. Like I add them to the font book. So give me 1 second here. Okay. So then create season 4, reminder. So then I need to open up my fonts. Give me 1 second. So this is y'all seeing behind the scenes of the process. So it's usually not too exciting. I mean, it is for me, but it's like, all right, download fonts, install the fonts. So this is what I typically do. So I have all the fonts that I downloaded. So I need to get them all out of the individual folders and then drag those files into the fonts in Dropbox and then drag those fonts from Dropbox into the font book and then they'll be installed. So it's not the most exciting process, but hey, it is what it is. So I like to kind of get all of them at the same time. Okay, so then you usually get the OTF file. What the difference is, I couldn't tell you because I think I looked it up when I started designing back in 2016 when I started downloading fonts, and it was like OTF was the best type of font file or something, and I just been using them ever since. So now I have like thousands of fonts, but I couldn't tell you, okay, OTF is this, TTF is this. Um, it hasn't been relevant to me. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just download the OTF files. All right. Appreciate you guys' patience. I really do. you could hit the like button for the font, the font process. Appreciate it. All right, because each font, it has different weights, different styles. All right, so now I have all the folders open, so I'm just gonna grab them one by one. Mm. All right, all of these, all of these, all of these. Need some whole music. Alrighty, so I think I have them all. So now I'm literally gonna drag all of these over into my fonts. All right, now open up the font book. So it's a two-step process, mainly because where I just dragged them into, that's our Dropbox folder because I shared this folder with other members of the team. So every time I download a new font, let's say I'm working on his logo, if somebody on my team is going to work on the logo as well, then they would need access to the fonts. So when they open a file up and say, hey, you're missing this font, they could just go to the font folder in Dropbox and download the font. So that's why I always move them there first before I add them to the font book. So, all right, so I'm gonna grab all of these that we added. Maxima. All right, now literally drag them over into the font book. 62 fonts, y'all, well, including all the weights. So it's gonna install them. It's gonna take a little bit of a second. Okay, so it says a font name Just Sans is already there. So I already had that font. Cool. Yeah, appreciate it. We only focus on the cited part. It would be 4 times the population. Part is cool, but the typers and paid for it is not for below. I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel you. All right, cool, y'all. So we have the fonts. So now what I'm going to do is open up Illustrator. And I like to have my list of fonts that I just installed on the side, just so I can remember that we can go through. But I do know I want to use Happy Season first because I'm, intrigued. So I'm going to make this a bit larger. Okay. All right, now zoom out a bit. Okay, here we go. Get my type tool. All right. Make it white so we can see this. Make it, yeah, that's fine. All right, and let's go ahead and type in, what is it, Happy Season? And the good thing about Mac, man, I don't know about PC, but when you drag them into the font book, it literally installs it on the spot, like into your different programs, even if they're open. So that's what I love. So if you're wondering about that, okay, so Let's just go ahead and type in the whole thing and see what it looks like. So being as though this is a more stylized font, it would be cool. We can put everything into almost like a square. I think that would be dope for this. Um, and let's see if it has alternates. So if we highlight a font, it does. So this is why I like Illustrator as well, because it's easy to get the alternates and glyphs for certain fonts. So if I zoom in and I highlight this, it shows me other options that it has. So this is like a upside down I, right? N, no other alternates. G, no other alternates. T, O, it already combined these two. Already combined the T and the H here. This is another version of the E, right? Things like that where you can make it that much more unique. Because let's say you use this font for like a t-shirt design. Rather than it looking just like a font that somebody typed in, when you have like, let's say one E looks like this, the other E looks like this, it makes it that much more unique and almost like, oh, they must have done that from scratch, right? Even though no, I didn't, but some fonts they have alternates like that to make it more unique. Like this one, for example, has 4 different versions of the A. So it has this version that you see here, it has this version where the left side comes down longer, this version where the right side comes down longer, stuff like that. I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. Let me check in real quick. Use that font. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate of this just to move it out the way. So if we ever needed to figure out, let's say we're 4 logo designs in and we want to remember what font we used, we'll always have that there. That's editable. But right now, we're going to put this into a version that isn't as editable, but I have a vision of it just being in almost in a square. So let's do that. The back. So if it's going to be a square, um, I need this middle, at least this middle layer to be kind of flat at the top and bottom. So the room, I love this, the R and the O. Let me see if I had this here. Oh, I think that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, I like it like that better because I think it reads a little better. M, and then we'll have the right side of the M hang off because this is going to be the bottom layer. So let's see what we can do on the top level. So we already know what we're doing with the I. So this looks good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert all of this, like expand all of this, right? So it pretty much made them into shapes now. So now I can't edit this text anymore, like the actual letters, but you know, I can manipulate certain elements of the text because it's now a shape. So I have a vision of it just being in in a square, but something I didn't think about though is maybe having emphasizing certain words. Like if I had playing on one line and then to on another line, or to the, like playing to the and then back. Yeah, so let's do that. So it's gonna be a little interesting. So I'm gonna have to on the second line, to the on the second line. And it'll also fit a square better as well. So we'll move this over some. I don't know if I want to expand this yet or not. Okay. To the. So I want to emphasize back. I'm gonna go ahead and make this bigger. So that means I may make two the smaller, but I don't know yet. So let me go ahead and select room. Because we need of and the. I think I have the wrong the here. Because I don't want these. Let me see. Of the. Yeah, this is fine. I'll leave that there. Playing to the back of the room with color versus case. Oh, so you saying use color on certain letters? Playing to the back or the room with color. You can double entendre playing the room. Yeah, I got you what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so you keep saying emphasize certain like playing and then the and then room and color to kind of emphasize those. That's not a bad idea. All right, so let me put of and the next to each other. I will say I don't want to get too fancy with it because at least on this concept, I'm already stretching it with this stylized font as opposed to a more simple font. However, we did say we can have a concept that's a bit more off the wall, right? So it may work with the colors too. But what I like to do, depending on the project, but I tend to like to introduce color last because the logo, and this is different when it comes to um, podcast and show design because you have a bit more leeway and you can be a lot more creative and break the rules. But typically, I don't want to be. I'm not that adventurous. So I like to get the actual logo down first before I introduce color. Um, because the logo should stand alone and it should work in black and white first. So now I'm digging it, but I feel like it's too long. You know, it went from too wide to now it's too long. So I'm probably going to um make two the and then of the smaller. So I'm going to highlight both of these and make them and resize them at the same time. Oops. Um, you say split the line on three, so playing is on one line, and then the room is on one line. The rest is in the middle. The room. Oh, I see what you're saying. Playing like to the back of, and then the room is on the bottom line. I see what you're saying. Let me think. Playing to the back of the room. I like that. I like that. I like that. So let me move. Let me move this over so I can. I'm going to duplicate this whole section. But first, hold on. I'm going to finish doing what I was doing first, just to see it through real quick. I know we're running short on time. Boom. You can also holla at me. You go to thepodpack.com. I can work with you, to get your uh your logo done. Shameless plug, real quick. Thepodpack.com. Ecamm fam gets 33% off of your pod packs. So your podcast branding package, essentially what we're doing right now. So holla at me if you want. Oops. Shucks. See my computer. It might be time for me to upgrade. It's good enough. All right, now we can move everything up. And what I want to do, I'll show you in a second. And oh, I got another idea too, y'all. Oh, you got the M4, man. I'm still on M1. It might be time. It might be time. I don't really have an issue. Like I normally don't have an issue, but I guess when streaming and now doing all of this. So the idea that I had was to extend this like this. I think that's dope. Oops. Shucks. Do it again. Of course, I'll go back and delete this layer if we decide to stick with that. But I think that looks pretty cool. Let me just go ahead and delete this now. Oh, you know what? I don't have to delete it because I'm going to use it. And I really should have just used the traditional O here and the traditional E because I made it a lot smaller. So I'll end up going back and fixing that. So use it kind of here like this. Yeah. And then use it on the other side as well. So yeah, I'll end up coming back and making the traditional, like the regular E, like this one right here. I have to have the actual font. Probably just duplicate this and bring it down, or just the whole and then the same with the O, because as you scroll out, like as you zoom out, which is not doing for some reason. Zoom out. There we go. So the kind of gets lost, and even the as well, because of how the T is like merged with the H. So I would likely move it over or have a traditional T and a traditional H for these middle sections. The T and the O for 2 is fine, but it needs to be versatile, right? We don't want to get too sexy. It has to be sexy and functional. I call it sectional. So we don't want to get too sexy with it, where it's like, oh yeah, that was cool. I like your little trick with the T and the H and the E and all of that, but then you can't really tell what it is at a small size. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find that balance. So then the same thing up here. So I'll just duplicate. Oops. Duplicate these. So of course I want to make sure everything is nice and centered. Right now it's not. So yeah, and I will probably just kind of condense everything, make everything a little closer as well. And another thing we could do is have to the and of the in completely different fonts. But I think I'll stick with it, this same font for this. And just make those tweaks that I told you about. So something else I want to try really quickly. It might be doing the most. It probably is doing the most, but I'm gonna check it anyway. Move this part of the M up, and then extend this part of the R all the way to the M, the right side. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. But is it doing too much? Y'all let me know. Is it doing too much? I can always move it back. So let's try docs real quick, and then we gotta roll. So let me just take this. This will be easier. All right, let me check in with you guys. Hey, also look, this is. I know we're not going as simple, Jerry. Hey, for you, those who don't know, this is Jerry. This is his logo we're working on. This is one of the more fun and whimsical styles I just wanted to try because I thought the text was cool, the font was cool. So don't look at it like, oh, he ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? I told him simple. He's going off the wall. No, don't judge the logos by this one alone. I just wanted to try this first because I thought the font was cool. So I wanted to give you a concept that was a little out of the box and off the wall. Just cause you never know, you know? So, but we got a lot of, if you go back and watch the replay, we got a lot of nice, simple, clean, minimal, sexy fonts for you. So don't worry about that. All right. I know you probably like, oh my gosh, he completely missed the mark. Did we not speak? No, I think once we were done this concept, I think it'll look pretty cool though. Um, all right, so that said playing to the back of, right, on the second level, yeah, to the back of, and then the room on the last level to the back of the room. Yeah. Yeah. Or was it playing two? It was playing two, right? Yep. Playing to the back of the room. Yeah. Playing to the back of the room. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Boom. Okay. Playing. Playing. The room is the second reading. All right, hold up. Now I'm lost. So playing to the back of. Okay, so you're saying the first line and the third line, you should be able to read like playing the room like that. All right, let me see. Yep, I got you. All right, to the back of the room like that. All right, bet. So then we make, yeah, because that's dope, because if we make the back of, you know what, let me go with the regular E on this since it's gonna be smaller. And then can we do a regular T and then a regular E? It automatically puts some. I'm gonna leave the T like that. All right, so now if we move all of this over and then make to the back of a lot smaller. Dang, I should have kept that A regular, but it is what it is. It's fine. And then make this a lot larger. Boom. So that's one I'm digging at. I'm really digging at. So I can bring that A up some so it doesn't touch. Let me do that. Or I could add like a little extra um space around, like a stroke around the A. Put it below. So you can see like a little indentation. That could work. And I want to try one more thing real quick with the room. Oh, you know what we could do too? The back of, we could put in a let me show you. He said it reminds me of the native tongue from the 90s. Native tongue. That's before my time. Well, I was in the 90s, but I was a child. A mere lad. Okay. Um Dang, man. It might be time to upgrade, y'all, because I'm trying to zoom in and it ain't zooming up now, zooming in too much. All right, one last thing. You may know where I'm going with it. We're going to do a rectangle for the middle. But let me hide this real quick. Turn this into a compound path. Command 8. Bring the rectangle below. Make this font black. Show the rectangle. Show the rectangle. Okay. Now bring the room up. And then to the back of. Make it smaller. Stick with me now. And, you know, I want to make it a little funky. So let's like bring this corner in a little bit. And then bring this up. So now the double entendre, you can really see it because if you just replaying the room, if you zoom out. Dang, I like this better than mine. Yeah, and it fits better too because now you have room for like a tagline as well, and it's not so long on the cover. So yeah, good call, Doc. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm digging this. Cool. All right, y'all. Look, we 10 minutes over and we only got one done. I thought this was gonna be like 30 minutes, but we like over time. You know what I'm saying? So we'll the other ones will be a lot easier. So in the next episode, we will we'll do this same process with the other fonts. They're not as fun, but we'll do the same thing and hopefully we can get to the backgrounds for the other ones as well and start to add some color into it. So it'll kind of be like a 2-for-1 episode. So we'll finish the logo design and also start working on the cover design as well. So as of now, he just wants it mostly like a plain background, like black or white. But we'll do that and then we'll add like little subtle elements into it somehow to make it a bit more interesting, whether it's a texture or some type of overlay or something like that. So, but overall, I'm digging it. Shout out to Doc for the assistance because he had this idea, but he was saying go like this so you can see replaying the room. Once you zoom out, like that kind of that stands out to you first before you even see what's in the middle. So it's like a double entendre. I love it. Cool. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it, Trevor. Thanks for tuning in. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate everyone for joining me today. Thank you. Please hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks because next week is Podfest. So we'll be at Podfest next week. So I won't be streaming, but I will see you all in 2 weeks. As always, I appreciate you all. If you wanted to take advantage of getting your own podcast branding done, you can visit thepodpack.com and you'll get 33% off of your own podcast branding package. And yeah, I'll take care of you. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace.